Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salawatu ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This week's khutbah is on letting every soul know what they have put forth for tomorrow. In other words, we prepare for our next world when we're in this very world. There's a famous book about the seven habits of highly effective people, and one of them is starting with the end in mind. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done for us, letting us know well in advance that we will all stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be questioned about what we have put forth in this world. If good, find good. And if you do other than that, then you will not find except what you have put forth. There's a famous story about a king who had no heirs. And when he became old, he put forth to his kinsmen, he said, when I leave this world, the king will be chosen from amongst my people. But there is one condition, that they are only to be king for a number of years, for say 5 years. Then after that, they're taken to the island that is just off the coast, and that island is full of wild animals, and they are to be they will be left there for the rest of their lives, and the animals will have their way with him. 5 years, that's it. So the king passed away, and the announcement came, who wants to be king? And of course there was a massive long line, who wants to be king, right? So the people put forth their names, and the new king was chosen, and he spent his 5 years living it up as a king, enjoying the luxuries of being the king, going here, going there. And at the time, when his time was up, the king's men came and said, your 5 years are up. And he said, no, I haven't finished. He said, that's it, your time is up. They took him across the water, they threw him in the island, and the people could hear the screams of this man being devoured by these wild beasts. Then the next announcement came, who wants to be the next king? And not surprisingly, the line was a lot shorter. No one put forth their name. And then a young man came from outside of the town. He said, listen, I've heard about this strange condition, but I'll accept it. And they said, you don't know what happened to the last king. And he said, no, it's okay. So they swore him in as a king, and immediately, he called the carpenters. And he said, listen, I've got as much money as you want. I want 50 boats built. And then he got the boats starting to be built. And he then started to gather the hunters. And he said, listen, I want you to go, this is as much money as you want. I want you to go take those boats, go across into the island, and I want you to kill all the wild beasts. Then he gathered all of the farmers, and he said, I want you to take the boat and go over, and I want you to cultivate that land. Then he got the business people in the market, the people that are busy in the market. He said, listen, as you've got a market here, I want you to go over there into this island. I want you to set up your markets there. And I want you to start to build buildings there. I want you to move your villagers over there. And then they got the best architect, the best builders. And he called them and he said, see this palace? I want exactly the same palace. I want to build it over on the island. And it took years and years, and he was busy putting all this effort in making this island into an inhabitable place. Then, of course, he called the kingsman and he said, all right, I want you to open the vaults, take all the gold, take it over into the island. And before the 5 years was finished, he said, I give up the kingdom. I don't want to be king any longer. I want to go to the island. People were shocked. But the island is full of animals. He said, no, have a look at the island. Look at the island. This is a person who started with the end in mind. We're all in this world temporarily. We all leave this world. Whether we like it, whether we don't. And we don't know when. But the smart one is the one that prepares his next world. Going on a trip, you're going to another country. You take the currency of that country with you. Especially if you're going to England, you're going to spend time in a small little hamlet, small village. You're not going to take Australian dollars with you. You're not going to take UAE dirhams with you. You will change that money, convert that money into British pounds before you get on the plane. Why? Because you don't want any problems there. All of us are going to Yom Al-Qiyamah. The only currency of value is your hasanat. Money won't help on the Day of Judgment. Gold won't help on the Day of Judgment. So we need to make a decision now. What have I done for my next world? What am I putting forward for my next world? And this is the intelligent one. The one that plans not for next week, not for next month, not for 10 years, but the one that plans for the inevitable. And that is Yawm al-Qiyamah. May Allah give us tawfiq to spend our time in what will be fruitful and most beneficial for us for the longest possible time. Amin ya Rabbil Amin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.